What is going on? Before I get into the video, if I had information like this 4 years ago, instead of being ripped for the past year, I literally would have been ripped for the past 4 years and I would have never fallen off with my physique, never would have gained all the excess body fat and had a massive problem with my diet, okay? Because I'm going to explain to you exactly how I went from the guy who literally trained in the gym but plateaued in his physique for a year. His diet was all over the place, abs not visible, gained the excess body fat, and I took it to the guy who not only got lean, got ripped, had the ab veins, had the bicep veins, but actually sustained it whilst building muscle and kept it year round. But here's the thing, if you're here for a quick dopamine rush, a quick dopamine scroll, this video is not for you, because this is a straight raw talk, okay? There's no music, no cuts, I'm just getting straight to the point, and I'm explaining exactly how I created a physique, which I literally feel super proud about, that I've sculpted myself. And to be honest, if you can't sit down for 20 minutes to watch a YouTube video, then you are not ready mentally or physically for a transformation like this. But if you are ready mentally and physically, then what I would advise is you sit down, get a piece of paper, get a pen, and make some notes, because this is going to absolutely change the game. Okay, so now I'm going to get into actually how on the game plan, how I went from that average look, I was soft, I was like 15 to 20% body fat, abs were literally invisible, to lean, ripped, with a six-pack whilst building the muscle. And here's the thing, a lot of guys, they'll like crash diet and eat really low calories and try and lose the weight as quickly as possible. And I like to view that sort of transformation where you just try and get lean like really quickly, like way too quickly, as if you're throwing a tennis ball. Gravity is always going to bring it down, like it's always going to come back down, because when you get lean too quickly, you're going to be the tennis ball except with your binge eating. You're always just going to regain the weight and end up back where you started if you do it wrong. Like, that's why I made this video, so you actually do it correctly and it's actually a lifestyle. Like, if you don't believe that you can get lean, stay lean whilst building muscle and feeling great because of reasons like, you've been out of shape for a while, so you're actually coming to terms with that's who you are now. You overeat or overportion a lot of your meals, you train in the gym, you literally train already, and you try and eat healthy, but you're seeing minimal or no results, or your physique's got worse, this video here is literally for you, okay? And like, it's not just my crazy genetics is what you'll see here, okay? Like, a bunch of my clients here, like these guys, it worked for them. It works for them, and I'm hoping when you watch this video, you can actually implement it, and then it will work for you as well. Like, Tommy lost 16 kilo in 6 months, unlocked invisible abs, got ripped. Chris, this guy, kids, holiday, work, rib injury, everything. He lost 8 kilos in 3 months, and the result was his lowest weight he'd been in the last 10 years and the best shape he'd been in the last 10 years. Joe, like, a lot of people, the skinny fat thing, it's like, do I cut, do I bulk, do I build muscle, 2 months, all the body fat gone, visible abs, no love handles, all the fat in the weird areas in his body, like the love handle parts, and like where your abs aren't visible, just vanished, and he just gained muscle and got fucking ripped. Like Brian, this guy's traveling all over the US detailing yachts, barely gone in a month. Okay, you can see the dates, it's literally a 1 month transformation. Like, it's not just I don't have crazy genetics, like this is shit which works. So now I'm gonna get into the exact game plan I would use to not only get lean and build muscle, but actually get in the best shape in your life and then sustain it and then keep building muscle and make it a lifestyle, and you keep improving your physique year on year because you've actually made it a lifestyle, okay? Now I'll get into splits. So obviously, I'm gonna get into your diet and everything else, but your workout split is very important. Like, your workout split is still super important. You can get a lot more like muscular gains and other benefits from just like following the right split and actually sequencing your exercises correctly. People think it's really simple, but if you actually like train correctly, you're leaving a lot of gains on the table if you aren't training correctly. And if you do train correctly, then you're gonna take those gains on the table with both hands and get arms which are gonna fill up your t-shirt, right? So the split I follow, there are 2 variations. I'll show you the first one. Day 1 is chest, arms, and abs. Day 2, legs. Day 3, back, shoulder, abs, and then a little bit of arms, because I like hitting arms once every 2 days. I feel like they can recover, and yeah, it's just more arm volume. I like having an arm pump when I'm in the gym as well. Your arms can recover if you hit them once every 2 days and you do the right volume. Then day 4 is rest and repeat. Okay, if you're tighter for time, you can do the same thing where it's chest, arms and abs, legs, back, shoulder, arms and arms, but the 4th day is upper body, and you just spread it throughout the week. So you can do like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, etc. Whereas with this one, it's just 3 days on and 1 off, right? So the days in the week vary. This one is slightly better if you're going for purely like the best split, but the other one's also very good. I wouldn't put them both in for no reason. It's like that simple, okay? They are the best splits. You need to view every single set as a chance to grow, okay? Quality over quantity. Your aim in the gym okay, needs to be to train with as heavy weight as possible, with the best form possible, not perfect form, but like standardized good form, within the 5 to 10 rep range, or 5 to 9 preferably. 5 to 9 rep range with the best form, okay, with the heaviest weight possible. And how you can do this safely is through like doing the 2 warm-up sets properly, so you're actually warm before your set. And the reason why I only do 2 sets is because I want you to train until failure. And what you'll realize, in order to actually push as much weight as possible, we can speak about the elephant in the room, that push-pull legs is overrated. Because with push-pull legs, you're hitting your biceps after back. So your biceps are tired. So you're not going to be able to overcome as much weight. You're hitting your shoulders after chest. So your shoulders are tired. And they're not going to be able to overcome as much weight. Who's going to be able to bicep curl more? The guy who does it after all his back movements, or the guy who does it on a separate day? Obviously the guy on the separate day. And then if you think about it, who's going to make more gains 99 times out of 100? The guy who can do 5 reps of 5 kilos, 5 reps of 5 kilos for a bicep curl, or maybe 8 reps. 8 reps of 5 kilos until failure. So he fails on that 8th rep with the 5 kilos. Or the guy who can do 8 reps of 20 kilos until failure. Obviously the guy who's bicep curling more weight, with provided both of their forms are the same, is going to have bigger arms. So then you can reverse engineer this, and you literally make your workout split specifically designed for you to get as much weight as possible, overcome as much weight as possible safely through the warm-up sets. And then when you're in a calorie deficit and you're eating the right foods, your lifts are still going up, you're still getting stronger, you're still putting on muscle, then you gain muscle whilst you're losing weight. I will literally give you an example of how I will structure my warm-up sets. So let's say you have a target weight of 40 kilo dumbbells, okay? You do 20 kgs for 8 reps, then 32 for 2, okay? And then you'll rest 3 minutes, then you go into your 40, okay? Because look, it's the 50%, 80% rule. So you get 50% of your target weight for 8 reps, then 80% of your target weight for 2 reps. So then if you have a 40 kilo dumbbells here, it's 20 kilos for 8, as I said, 32 for 2 reps, rest 2 minutes, do the 40 kilos, boom. Then you're ready to go. And it's safe. Like you're safely doing a heavier weight. You run this protocol even on bicep curls, even on tricep extension. On every single exercise you do it. Then you will find after doing these 2 warm-up sets, you only need to do 2 working sets because your quality is so dialed in. You only need to do 2 working sets. A lot of the time when people do 3 working sets or 4, you kind of half-ass the first 1 or 2, right? Like the first 1 or 2, like you literally half-ass them. And that's the thing. So when you do 10 kilos for 8, okay, 16 for 2, and then you get into your 20 kilos, you rest 3 minutes, then you get into the 20 kilos. This is for the bicep curls. I promise you, it sounds tedious. If you do this for every single exercise you do, oh my God, you will progressive overload so much. And oh my gosh, in turn, your physique will blow up even when you're in a calorie deficit. The most common misconception I've heard is that people say you can't build muscle whilst you're losing weight. I've been doing that for years. And this is how through my training. I don't do push-pull legs. I do warm-up sets. I preach, quality over quantity. I preach all of this, and the Wi-Fi is just gone. Perfect timing. Like that is literally how you train properly. Okay. Now we can get into diet. So fuel your performance, not cravings. The most important thing that I will say in regards to diet is you need to view your diet as a method to benefit your training. Okay. Like that's how you need to view your diet. Like, how can I eat in order to benefit my health and my training? Because we are humans, not robots. Like we need the micronutrients, we need to be eating good foods, because then when you feel better, even if you feel more mentally sharp, then you'll be able to train better in the gym. When you eat better, you'll be able to sleep better, so that's better recovery. When you eat better, you'll be able to work harder, which will make you less stressed, and then you'll be able to train better because you're less stressed. Like all of these aspects matter as well. That's why I don't preach for calories, and obviously counting your calories is good initially. I'll make some of my clients count their calories initially so you get used to it, but then eventually you kind of graduate from counting your calories and you don't need to, because it's such an ingrained lifestyle of the way you eat. You know exactly what foods you need to eat in order to lose the weight. So you can't out-train a bad diet, eat in a deficit. You already know you need to eat in a calorie deficit. The whole fucking world knows you need to eat in a calorie deficit, okay? The foods I will say, I've listed everything, like eggs, red meat, so ground beef, steak, lamb, venison, chicken breast, boneless, skinless chicken thigh, tuna, salmon, sardines. These are the center of your diet, and this is what you're going to base your diet around. Okay, like that, it's there. Like there's no magic pill. It's like that. They're the proteins you're going to be needing to eat. Carbs: potato, sweet potato, rice. This is white rice, basmati rice. Fruit: watermelon, kiwi, frozen strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, papaya. Vegetables: cucumber, lettuce, broccoli, zucchini. So here's the thing. So proteins, it's like the animal proteins. You have the fatty proteins and you have the lean proteins, okay? They go really well together because you need the animal fats, but then the lean proteins are super good as well because they're not super high in calories, they fill you up, and they're just good to hit your protein goal. Carbs, you got potato, sweet potato, and then rice. Potatoes can be on like rest days or for dinner after you've trained to keep you full because they're less calories, more volume, more filling. Rice before your workout. Have rice before pre-workout. Fast digesting. I've found I get the best pumps, I have the best workouts when I eat rice before. That's simple. Fruit, what I'll say is it's like the high volume, nutritious fruits. So you got watermelon, kiwis, like not super high volume, but they're super nutritious. And then frozen strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, papaya. These fruits are like super high in volume, low in calories. Great to have pre-workout. So I usually have fruit before my workout in the afternoon. I would recommend, and I'll get into this here, no sweet foods before bed. I know it sounds like, what? I like saving all my sweet stuff for the end of the day. I wouldn't do that because it kind of like lights up dopamine whenever I have the sweet things right before I go to sleep. And like, if you really struggle with like the evenings and overeating in the evenings, I would have your fruits in the afternoon, and then before in the evenings, you put a shit ton of vegetables with your food. Okay, so you put cucumber or lettuce or zucchini, like these are like no calories. Okay, so you literally, but you put it with your meal, right? So you'll have your proteins, you take the carbs with it as well in the evening, and then you put your vegetables with it. So it's super high volume, you have the carbs, you have the animal meat with it, put it together. So it's like nourishing you, giving you carbs for energy, and then you have the vegetables for the volume and the fiber. Boom, you go to bed feeling full, and there's no sweet stuff, so you don't get all these sweet cravings. Snacks, none. Yeah. Just drink some water, buddy. When you eat like this and you eat real foods, proper meals, you don't need snacks. I don't like snacks because it teaches you to give in to your hunger instantly. That's the thing. It's like, oh, I feel a little bit hungry, let me have a snack. No. I feel a little bit hungry, let me drink some water, let me work hard, let me enjoy my meal even more because I'm actually eating proper foods. And when you eat proper foods, you'll find you're feeling less starving throughout the day. It's more like a normal, steady feeling, and then you're ready for your next meal. It's like, snacks are for kids and pets. So if you're a kid or a pet and you're watching this, then have snacks. If you are a man who wants to look absolutely jacked and have visible abs, do not have snacks. I'll be the first guy to tell you, they're the biggest scam in history. Like snacks are what people like try and sell you their food. Like you need to eat proper meals like a proper man, and that's coming from a 21-year-old. So like one of the best advices for actually getting in shape is literally just removing the snacks and eating real foods. No cheat meals by yourself ever. Like there's no reason for you on a random Tuesday just to order in pizza because you're the only one benefiting from that, right? Like when you eat these cheat meals, the only benefit is that they taste nice in the moment. There's no other benefit. They're terrible for your body. They make you feel like trash. They make you add excess body fat. It's just quick, instant gratification. Stick to a diet you enjoy. Like eating these whole foods are literally nice. Like they are literally nice. Okay, so that's why like you want to be eating a diet. You can season it. Like you can use like oregano and paprika and garlic and season your foods and make it taste nice. Not any junk sauces. Like the junk sauces are trash. Like don't use like Nando's sauce or like mayo. If you want to use like light mayo, that's like, if that's the decider between you sticking to the diet and you leaving it, then maybe. But I would really just avoid like the mayos and those sauces and just like use Tabasco, use real seasoning, use like that sort of thing with your meals to make it taste nice. And then when you go out on a social occasion, you enjoy the foods. You just eat. You don't need to be the guy who's eating 100 snacks, like 100,000 snacks, and you eat all the starters and all the desserts and shit. But you go out and you can try different foods and enjoy it. That's the whole point. The whole point is to eat well, look good, feel good. So when you go out with people, you can be the guy who actually enjoys himself. Simple as that. That's why when I go out on social occasions, I'll have a pizza and I might have like a brownie and dessert. Boom. And then I'll be dialed in on my diet for another 2 months. Or another 3 days if I'm going out in 3 days, right? Like because that's how it is. It's a social v non-social rule, I like to call it, where when you're out with family, friends, big occasion, you eat well. When you're by yourself, you are locked in, but actually with the right structure, not just locking in for no reason, because sometimes you can have the discipline and then you lock in on the wrong diet, so you're working really hard, but you're not making progress, which is what I've seen as well. Carbs before and after training. So before your workouts, have carbs, whether that's rice or potato or fruits or even like some watermelon, kiwi before your workout. That's what you want to be having before. So then you're actually fueling your workout. And then you have carbs after workout. Like I like having potatoes after I've worked out or some rice, because then you're literally like directly replenishing your energy stores. For me, I like having rice before. So since I work out in the afternoon, I'll have my ground beef, rice, before I work out with some cucumber or lettuce, season it. I'll have some watermelon with that, work out, and then after my workout, you can have potatoes or rice, then the lean proteins, and then that's how it goes, okay? That's how you actually make it sustainable, because you're eating the correct foods, you're eating in a deficit, you're cycling your carbs around your workout, then guess what? You're losing weight whilst building muscle, and then it all actually works out, okay? And you don't eat snacks because you're not a kid or a pet. Then, what's the point in eating well and training hard if your sleep and your recovery is not there? 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So my best advice for sleeping is to tape your mouth, wear an eye mask, and even earbuds if necessary. When your mouth is covered and your ears are covered and your eyes are covered, everything in your face is covered except for your nose. You will sleep like an absolute baby. If you have a girlfriend or a wife, I haven't got a girlfriend, so yeah, I guess like when you're taping your mouth and shit like that, it might be that they might think it's a bit weird. Like they should probably accept it. If you don't want to tape your mouth because you've got like, you know, your girl there, that's all good. Like you don't have to do that. Then take the magnesium. Make sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep. But I would really just tape your mouth. That's the best thing. So you're nasal breathing, because when you nasal breathe, you get a deeper sleep. If you want to search it up, you can, or you can take my word. You get a deeper sleep when you nasal breathe because your parasympathetic nervous system is activated more, and you're more relaxed. Also, if you're like stressing in the evening, when you nasal breathe, it actually helps you de-stress, like mentally. But then that's in turn gonna help you sleep better because you're less stressed, right? Because when you're less stressed, you sleep better and you can relax more. So it's all a snowball effect. Tape your mouth, take magnesium glycinate, boom. Don't drink too much water before you go to sleep. Best advice. Like you don't want to be waking up, going to the toilet throughout the evening. Drink water throughout the day, then when it hits the evening, I'm not saying dehydrate yourself, but what I am saying is relax on the water. You don't need to drink a lot of water before you go to sleep. You don't want to be waking up constantly going to the toilet. That just wrecks your sleep. When I sleep, 99% of the time, that I just wake up the next morning and that's it. Because I've trained my body to not want to go to the toilet when I'm sleeping, because I don't drink as much water before I go to bed, because I drink water earlier on in the day and I hydrate myself through salt water, through fruit, through kiwis, through watermelon, through drinking water earlier on and then in the evening, right? That's how you do it. Phone on the opposite end of the room with the alarm set. Don't just go on your phone throughout the evening. I thought this was very obvious, but don't just go on your phone at like 1 a.m. just to check the time. You're literally putting the blue light in your eyes. You're literally killing your sleep. Like your body thinks it's daytime whenever you go on your phone. Put your phone on airplane mode, unless you actually, like, just in case there's a notification you're waiting for. Put your phone on airplane mode or do not disturb. Turn your alarm on. Put your phone at the opposite end of the room, because then that actually forces you to get up out of bed when the alarm goes off. Because if the phone's right next to you, it's like, boop, turn the alarm off, you're tempted to go back to sleep. When it's at the opposite end of your room, you have to get up out of bed. And then boom, like you do that, and then you don't go on your phone, it's sleep time. Like for me, it's like phone at the opposite end, alarm set, sleep time, that's it, boom. That's why my sleep has been on point. And your physique, I promise you, like, you can have the diet and training locked in. If your sleep is not on point, you're going to be stressed. You're going to feel like shit. You're going to not, like, when sleep is on point, everything else falls into place. Now we have abs mastery. Okay, so this is how I structure my sort of ab like days, right? What I do for abs and how I go about it. And it's literally this simple. For lower abs, leg raises. So you do the leg raises, preferably your back support and your elbows are supported. You raise up. The best cue I like to follow in regards to leg raises is imagine you're flashing your bum to everyone. So you're crunching your spine and you're flashing your bum to everyone, and then your legs are following. So you're not just thinking, let me raise my legs, because that's a lot of hip flexors. You're crunching your spine and your legs are following. Okay, and you're flashing your bum to everyone. So you're forcing your spine to actually contract to get the abs. Okay? For the upper abs, decline ab crunches on the decline bench. You hold a barbell or you hold a plate and then you crunch up using a decline bench. Or you do cable ab crunches with the cable. Once you get strong at the cable ones as well, like, yeah, your abs are gonna look awesome, right? So I hit abs once every 2 days. A lot of my clients hit abs once every 2 days. I found that brings the best results. 2 sets for each exercise. And guess what? You're probably going to have to do the warm-up sets as well. For the hanging leg raises, like, it's body weight, so maybe the warm-ups, you can do like hanging knee raises, just one warm-up set for that. You don't, yeah, like, that's what I do for the leg raises, okay? But I'll train your abs once every 2 days. If you're doing the 4-day workout split, then you can train 3 days a week, right? And you hit abs 3 days a week. Abs can recover, especially if you're only doing 2 sets, 2 working sets, right? Because if I do, you do one of these ab exercises on each day, if I'm making this clear, right? So you do the lower abs on like your chest arm day, okay? And then you do the upper abs on your back shoulder abs and arms day, okay? So you split up these exercises, one on each day. You do not do them both on the same day. That's just like redundant volume. You want to do one ab on one day, one ab on the other day, and then you keep progressive overloading, you keep doing it forever and ever, and then you actually get abs. They're the ab exercises. It's that simple. Like calorie deficit, you do those ab exercises, you hit them once every 2 days, you will get a 6-pack. I've been doing this for years. That's why I've been able to keep my 6-pack for years. Okay. Now we have the adaptable mindset. Okay. Like mindset's super important, and the identity that you have as a person as well. I promise you, like identity and habits and routine and structure are super important for actually implementing all this information. Okay, so I've worked in construction, I've served fish and chips, I've cleaned bins and tennis courts, and I've studied 8 hours a day for exams. I've done everything. My life's always been inconsistent and all over the place, but my training and my nutrition and everything has stayed consistent. Because it's like being busy is literally a privilege. Like the guys who are ripped long term, they always find ways to make it work regardless of their situation. Because here's the thing, if you can find a way to make your diet and your training and your physique and actually taking care of your body work in the busy periods, imagine how easy it's going to be when life's not busy. Oh my gosh, you will absolutely kill it. So you want to be the guy who can make it work no matter what, even if you're working long hours. I've literally worked like 10-hour shifts, cleaning courts, taking bins out. Like, oh my gosh, it was so tiring, and I still hit gym. After my fish and chips job, I literally traveled 1 hour and 10 minutes. Walk, bus, train, to the gym, meal prepped every single day. Made it work. I'm not saying you need to do that, but what I am saying is you need to find a way to try and make it work in regards to your inputs, even if life's busy, because as I've said, you'll be unstoppable if you can get through those busy moments and still be ripped. Like a lot of the time, and it's kind of a blunt truth, the difference between the guys who are in and out of shape sometimes is literally their ability to be adaptable and still fit in everything. Like some guys, they have the same knowledge, the same like workouts, and it's literally the fact that they can't fit it in and they can't be consistent when life gets busy. They just haven't got that last gear where it's like, because you may have the discipline, you may have the motivation, but it's that adaptable mindset where you really find a way to fit it. And if that means waking up at 5 a.m, if that means going like hitting a quick session in like your work break, if that means restructuring your week and going over your whole day and thinking like, where can I actually fit in the gym in my diet? How can I meal prep? Or do I need to buy meal prepped food? Or like, how can I make it work? That's the mindset you need to have. Like, how can I actually make it work? Because then when you can actually make a way to implement everything like this, you're going to be unbelievable. Because then once you have the perfect training, you're progressive overloading, you're eating well, you're feeling high energy, you're eating whole foods, you can enjoy the social occasions with your family every once in a while. You're not snacking, you're not cheating, you're in a deficit, you're recovering, you're hitting abs properly, you're sleeping well, and you have the adaptable mindset. Can you see how those 5 pillars get you in shape and keep you in shape for life? That's literally it. Like that's how you stay ripped for life, and you don't get the cravings, and you just feel awesome and you're ripped. Like I've been ripped, like I've been training for 8 years, and like my fall off, this is what prevents my fall off. Like when I got out of shape, right, you can see in those pictures here, right? This prevents it. If I had this video, I would have this would have been me forever. And this is going to be me forever now, because I have this, and it's like, as I said, it's not just me. I don't have some crazy genetics, crazy thing. It's just down to the hard work, because the whole purpose is to make it a lifestyle. It's not just about getting lean and then getting ripped and then losing it. It's about getting there, and then that's who you are permanently for life, right? I'm not saying you need to be 8% body fat with visible abs for life, but what I am saying is when you're lean and you do actually have visible abs and it's just sustainable,
and you feel awesome, you look awesome, and it's not just about getting lean and then losing it, it's about being the guy who's going to keep improving his physique year on year. And as I've said, I'm not anything special. I'm not like some crazy genetics, or like look at these my clients here. Like, you can see these guys' transformations here. It's not crazy genetics, okay? It's literally just hard work, dedication, and actually like making it a priority within your life. If you want me to implement all of these 5 pillars into your own life and hold you accountable to those high standards, you can book in a call. There's a link in the description of the YouTube video, or you can just text me on Instagram and I can run over my programs, how I can help you. What I would say is, like, if you do want to discuss about like the one-on-one coaching with me, it would have to be a priority for you. So I wouldn't want to spend all this time and effort like really trying to help someone out and then it's not a priority for you in your life. Like, this must be like, I genuinely want to get in the best shape of my life and actually keep it. I genuinely hope this video helps you out, because if I had this video when I first started gym, would have been ripped for the whole 8 years instead of just like trialing and erroring and then like failing.